It is stimulus time.
Whoa!
With the offsets.
You can have all the offsets.
So all of us are sitting flush with all this new stimulus money. It's not true. And you're like, hey, it's been a zany year. I want a zany guitar. Who doesn't want a Jazzmaster?
I mean, everyone should want a Jazzmaster.
We were just
Not an Acoustasonic!
Ouch.
We were just talking to Sean. I'm going to ignore that from the Peanut Gallery. We were just talking to Sean. We were asking him about his Jazzmasters, his Jazzmaster experience and journey. He's like, man, what brought you to Jazzmaster? He's like, I just like the way it's shaped.
Yes.
This is because he was a young dude. He's like, he's probably a teenager when he.
And he had was it the black top Jazzmaster?
It was the black top,
with the shiny, chrome pickguard stuff and the black humbuckers?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a guitar that looks like a Jazzmaster, but isn't really a Jazzmaster.
Not so much a Jazzmaster.
One of the ones in your hands is sort of in that. Well, we'll talk about that later. I'm not going to say which one. But some similarities to it. But so we just have sort of like three of the lines sort of in that below $1,200 range is what we want. We want to sort of stick in that sort of, if you're getting your stimulus money, we can go all the way up to the American Pro 2s. We can go up to the American, originals, and then the Ultras, which are the Ultras in that cool Mocha Burst. Man, that's sexy.
It's true.
But we're not going to talk about those because they're too expensive.
I mean, so you can spend your kids' stimulus money too.
Never mind. Those will be in the next video. Sorry, kids.
Whatever.
Guess you're getting that Lego I gave you last year for your birthday.
Yeah.
God, that's a good idea. Just like repackage. I built this new thing for you.
It's not a bad idea.
My kid's about to turn 8, and we just got the Mandalorian Legos thing for him. That's his only present he gets. It was expensive, in my opinion, for like blocks, but I'm so excited. If you haven't seen the Mandalorian, you're missing out on a cultural event of this whatever generation.
And yes, Disney paid us $1,000 to say that.
And Cavell Vodka, your finest alcoholic drink for watching the Mandalorian. They're friends of ours. We just talk about them sometimes. Anyway, so we're holding the Classic Vibe Squire right here. You got the Vintera series right here, and then you got the Players series on your far left. Let's switch hands on those.
Switch hands.
So we're going to go on price.
That. Bam, bam.
From me.
Bam.
Your least expensive. Your moderate. So least expensive, we're sort of under the $500 range. We're sort of leaving prices a little bit vague. I can give you exactly, but this changes as you watch this video. Because Fender's prices just went up February 1 across the board and everything. So as things are changing, who knows? But I think we're sort of steady right here. This grill right here is at $750, so below $800. And then this one right here, you're kind of getting in that right below $1,100 range.
Yep.
You can maybe find one for $999. It's pretty cool. It depends if it's the modded one or the normal one. So the basic Jazzmaster shapes. What color is these, Jonathan?
Sunburst.
Do you like Sunburst?
I do like Sunburst.
And
how can you not like Sunburst?
I love a Jazzmaster in Sunburst. I have a couple of Jazzmasters. The one that's behind us is the sort of white ashy one. It's really pretty.
It's nice.
That neck pickup's awesome on it.
It is.
It's a thin skin from Wildwood. If anybody's curious about it, a 59 version. But anyway, so this one is the Classic Vibe. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Classic Vibe series.
It's great.
I think it's one of the best series for Fender for the bang for your buck.
Yes.
To get sort of that. The classic specs, it's got this sort of the soap bar ideas here. It's got the sounds, it's got the tone. So a lot of people don't know what this is. It's just a different tone setup to where when you click it on, this becomes your volume. This becomes your tone circuit. It cancels these guys out. It's a darker circuit.
And you're only using your neck pickup.
I really like it.
Rhythm circuit. It's good.
Yeah,
I like it too.
I think it's really cool. Yeah.
Yep.
That was a neat little throw in there.
Agreed.
The nice little fish. I was like, I was like, why is Jonathan talking? I get scared. I was still thinking about the Mandalorian. Now this lives very similar to that one to me, the Vintera. Because it's got the same exact setup. You're gonna notice it. Same sort of breakdown of the color scheme. Now let's swap that out. Let's get into the Player series. Now I feel like this is more for the guy that wants that shape of the Jazzmaster, but doesn't really want the Jazzmaster.
Sure.
Because what are these pickups? They're
good old humbuckers.
That's not these.
That's not those.
They're just these are pretty much just overwound singles.
Yes.
Just big fatty single coil pickups. Almost like a Mickey Mouse, hey, I'm gonna design a single coil pickup. That's what I think of when you're wearing those the gloves. I was watching this thing on TikTok the other night. Of
course you were.
I know. Well, it's just funny. It was this group. It was how to tell people you're a virgin without telling people you're a virgin. There's this one redhead kid was look at my Mickey Mouse collection. Look at my I thought that just stuck in my mind. I thought it was hilarious. Like, or how to tell people you've never like seen a naked person like on the
right.
opposite sex.
I know, it's fair.
I don't know. I think it might have been virgin. I don't know what it was. I thought it was really funny.
It works both ways.
No, so we get to the Player Series. You have the humbuckers. It's a hotter sounding guitar. This is going to be better. If you want a higher gain performing instrument, this is an awesome piece for you. Doesn't have this, so you're cutting out that circuit entirely. A little bit more push, less circuits, more sound sometimes. You know, that's the idea. Like that's why what an Esquire is too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might want those circuits. You don't use them that much, but it sounds really cool with fuzz.
I think if I want a Jazzmaster, I want that because that's part of the charm and sort of the cool factor.
So then who is this for?
This is, like you said, I think it's for the person who wants that hotter sort of rock sound, but they love offset bodies. They want the classic Sunburst thing.
I do like offset bodies.
They're cool.
I think they're really cool.
Yeah.
I like sitting down with them.
Yes. Except
for this little thing. Because this is how I sit, and I play. This one's sort of skewed differently, but a lot of times when you're here, yeah, this one. Let me give me. There you go. Maybe this one. Let me see the other one. Let me see.
That's the one.
Yeah, this is the
Do
one.
it with that one.
Yeah, let's just switch around.
Switcheroo.
Yeah, they sometimes I finally yeah, there it goes. Like if I'm playing it like that, I've had to artificially do that a bit. But a lot of times, yeah, like if I'm just playing, if I lean it forward at all, it's gonna shift my pickup.
So when you're rubbing your thigh with your guitar,
when I'm doing,
that's when you have issues. Cool, got it. Good. Check it off.
I don't want to go home.
Worst guitar for rubbing your thigh, Jazzmaster.
This guitar is really cool. What am I holding right now? Like, the fact that I wasn't sure what I was holding, I was like, it's just the neck sound.
It speaks well, yeah. So the only glossy neck is the classic vibe.
Yeah, it's just check them out.
These are all satiny.
The classic vibe looks really good. I wish they would have aged those pickups.
Yeah, the stark white.
That's about it. But I mean, like, you know, this is an expensive guitar. Yeah. This is going to like pretty much wear your stimulus package out.
Right.
So I think, but why would you get a Vintera?
I mean, you're probably going to have a little better electronics, probably a little nicer pickups.
Yeah, so that's sort of like Fender's pretty smart about how they set this up because these are totally different guitars.
Absolutely.
I mean, it says Jazzmaster. It's really not a Jazzmaster.
It's not so much Jazzmaster in the traditional sense.
They've got that funky bridge there.
But you still get the cool Jazzmaster like trim system.
You get the and you get the look.
Yeah.
But I mean, sonically, it's a very different beast. Neck-wise, like they're both good. I do prefer this one a little bit to that one.
I think I did too.
This is more like sort of that rounded C.
Right.
This is a little bit more vintage, like a small vintage style. It's got a cool 70th anniversary.
Right. This does too.
That makes me happy.
Not on the Squire though.
Yeah. So like when you're looking for the Jazzmasters out there, like if you want to get that vintage Jazzmaster and you don't want to spend $2,000 or like on the American original one, this is a great fit. If you don't want to go custom shop, I like the Vintera series a lot.
I do too.
It was one I was questionable because the name of it just confused me. Vintage Era, Vintera. I thought it was really funny when they pitched that to me. I was like, oh, that's silly, but it kind of makes sense. Until they changed the name of it in 2022, which is my guess. Check back with me. Next year, I think summer, there will be a different Vintera name, the Vinta Snoopy or something.
Or it could be the Vintera 2.
Oh God, that's groundbreaking. It's like the
crazy.
Xbox, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One. What's the newest one called? I don't even know.
I have no idea.
It's out, isn't it?
Probably.
Somebody tell us what the new Xbox is called. And I'm an Xbox junkie. I used to always be, and I just need help sometimes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let me hold this one again.
Take that one. Switch.
Player Series. They're all about the same weight, surprising. But, you know,
I do feel like the fact that they got the Adjustomatic bridge on the modded version of this is cool.
Yeah, you like
because people have trouble with some of these other jazz mastery bridges.
I don't mind this bridge really. Like it's not gonna like shred my strings to pieces.
That's true.
I changed the one out on mine too, just to put more of a roller on there.
Yeah.
But that's a common thing with Jazzmasters. The bridges, like it just depends. So like you've got some pretty decent bridges across the board on these.
Yeah,
that's nice here for you.
That is cool.
That's good.
That's nice intonation.
It's tough though. If I was gonna pick, I think this probably wouldn't be the one I pick.
I think my order goes 1, 2, 3.
Mine might go 1, 2, 3, just if I wanted to save that money and put it towards an amplifier.
Yeah, that's good. Good plan, actually.
If I didn't have a good tube amp, I'd want to get a tube amp. If you have let's say you have $1,400, get this thing, and you got $1,000, get a Princeton.
Yeah.
Get a Princeton, and just call it a day. Pedals down the road. Get a deluxe reverb if you can find one of those two, possibly like right around there. Might spend a little bit more. But if you're buying online, it's free shipping usually.
That's right.
There's no tax. Buy out of state that way. Or go to your local shop and be like, hey, can you help me out with this? And yes.
Here's cash. Okay, cool.
I know Larry in Musicland store will help me. We were just talking to one of our friends who sent us cupcakes the other day. Ooh. No names again. Just like, it's like he's got some of these amps. And I was like, go, just get it there. You know, just get it. Because he's like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Like, it's cool. But they'll work out a deal for you, just get you out the door. Most shops will do that.
That's true.
To help you out, especially if you're a cool cat and you send them cupcakes.
Especially if you send
That was awesome, by the way. We got it was like 3 dozen cupcakes.
That was a lot of cupcakes.
I think we all developed diabetes immediately, but it was awesome. So thank you.
I probably had them already, to be fair. It's fine.
No, you're like skinny and stuff now.
That's true.
Go back and watch old Jonathan videos. It's really frustrating. This guy's getting ripped. Yeah, so it's tricky. I love them all. Like the Vintera is like my favorite because I love that.
Yeah.
But that classic vibe is good.
It is.
It doesn't sound quite as good,
but it's close, man.
But it gets you there. Like if you have the scratch, go Vintera.
God, it is good looking.
That's a good looking top.
I was gonna say, look at the wood grain.
It's got wood grain in it. It's almost like I got like a private stock classic vibe. So yeah, what do you guys think as far as like where would you spend your Jazzmaster dollars? You got to keep it below a certain amount too. We're not going up into the ultras and all that stuff.
Nope.
And we're not going over to Fanos because those all look like Jazzmasters back in the day, which I wanted those too. Yeah, let us know. Anything else?
If you have not already, hit like and subscribe, click the bell. We'll see you next time.